Everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is 10 of the most common cruise questions that I'm asked. I have a feeling this list is going to grow over time because there's anything and everything out there. But I put this together and I wanted to run it down for you. Yes, I do have my cheat sheet right here so I don't forget anything. So let's get into it. The first one is, this is a common one. Does the ship feel crowded? And when you talk about a ship like an Oasis class ship or Icon of the Seas or Star of the Seas that they're building, people say there's 6,000 to 7,000 people and other guests on the ship and then all these employees. The ship's going to feel crowded, and it's not. One of the things the cruise lines do is they do a measurement, and it's basically the amount of space in the common areas of the ship divided by the number of passengers, or I think it's you divide one by the other, I forget, but basically it comes up with a ratio, and it's how much free space per passenger is there on the ship. And the cruise lines know this. I mean, obviously they're experts at it. As long as they stick within that certain range, the ship is not typically going to feel full. It's not going to feel crowded. Are there times when it gets a little squeezed? Yeah, I've been on a Royal Caribbean ship down in the promenade when they have like a parade going by or something that they do, and about 3/4 of the people who are on the ship are packed into that space. It gets a little tight, it gets a little bit snug. It lasts 20 minutes and it's over and everybody turns and goes their own direction. So that kind of is one of those cases where it's few and far between. So that one's there. Let's see. What is there to do on the ship? What is there not to do on the ship? These ships are basically floating resorts, okay? They want to show you the time of your life, because one of the things every ship has is a place you can go to book your next cruise. They want you to have so much fun on this cruise that you can't wait to schedule your next one. So they're going to have water slides. They're going to have go-kart tracks. Carnival has a roller coaster on the top deck. Royal Caribbean has water slides. They have the Flow Rider, which is like a surf simulator. Rock climbing walls, Broadway shows, trivia, karaoke, pretty much you name it, they have it going on the ship. All of them, I think, except for Disney, I want to say there's another cruise line out there maybe, they don't have casinos. They don't, but all the other cruise lines do. So that's just some of the examples of what these ships have to offer. And not just that, they're in a port every day or every other day. You get off the ship, you go explore the port, do an excursion, do some shopping, have some fun. That adds to the overall experience. Here's one, am I going to get seasick? I can speak for myself. I've been on, I think I'm getting close to about 20 cruises right now. I think I'm at maybe 18. Never once have I felt seasick, okay? I've done 3-day weekend cruises. I've done full cruises all around Western Caribbean, Eastern Caribbean. I've felt some movement on the ship. I've never had a problem with it. These cruise lines will actively do anything that they can to avoid giving you a bumpy ride or a wavy ride or anything like that. They don't want to have your enjoyment factor go down at all. So they'll do anything they can. The ships have stabilizers. They're built in a certain way where you don't feel it so much. Here's the other thing. Find a travel agent who's experienced in this. They're going to tell you, get a room in the middle of the ship, get a room at the bottom of the ship. That way you're going to feel less of the movement. So just a couple little hints there. This one, I get this quite a bit. Do I bring a towel? Not a bath towel, but like a beach towel. No, you don't. I'm on an MSC cruise right now. One of the things we had when we checked into our room, each of us had a towel on our bed, and it looks different than the bath towels. They're orange instead of white. So we know those are the ones you take to the pool on the deck. And right now my son is off on Ocean Key and having a good time. He took that with him, so you know what you need to take to the beach. Can I bring an iron or a steamer or an extension cord? I heard from so-and-so that they're not allowed. So-and-so was right. They're not allowed. Irons, steamers, typically any kind of power extension, so extension cord, a power strip, something like that, with a cord is not allowed on the ship. It's kind of a fire hazard. It puts too much stress on the electrical system that they have. They don't want to do that. So there is a blow dryer in the room. My wife will bring her curling iron or whatever it might be. Those are perfectly allowed. Do I need a passport? Do you need it? In most cases, no. Okay? And I say most cases. The cases where you do not need it are anything that is classified as a closed loop cruise. And what that is any cruise where you leave and return from the same U.S. port. So if you're on a transitioning cruise where they leave out of Orlando and then they make a couple stops and then the cruise ends in Cape Liberty in New Jersey because it's summertime and they're moving the ship up there, that is not a closed loop cruise. You absolutely need to get a passport. If you start at one port and end at another, just know that you are absolutely going to need a passport. My recommendation is, as always, make sure you get yourself a good travel agent. I'd love to help you with that. I've answered this question 100 times. There's a cost factor with a passport, and I recognize that. I mean, I think it's about $100 per. The adult ones last for 10 years, so you can just kind of go, well, I'm going to eat it, but that's for 10 years, that's not too bad. The kids ones, they're only good up until they're 18. They're only good for 5 years. So that's where if you can save a couple bucks on that, that's where some of the money's going to play into. But definitely check on it. Check with the cruise line. Check with your travel agent, whoever that might be. And let's see, when can we get on the ship? When can we get off the ship? Think of it this way. You check into a hotel, okay, and they tell you check-in time is at 2 o'clock. And you're thinking, well, but my plane lands at 10. I just want to get in the room and drop off my bags. The problem is the person who was in your room the night before might still be in your room. And they need to get that person checked out. Then they need to get the people working in the hotel to clean that room and get it set up for your stay. That's why you don't get in there 1 minute after the previous guy just left. So when you book a cruise, it's going to be about 45 days prior. You're going to get a notice from the cruise line that says, okay, let's do some online check-in and verify what window of time you want to select to get on the ship. And it's usually about a half-hour block. The bigger, the more crowded the ship is, that plays into it more. Like the cruise I'm on right now, it's kind of on the smaller end. It was about 2,400 of us. Check-in was pretty easy. It wasn't too crowded. I don't want to say go against the cruise line, but we were there a little bit late. There was no problem with that at all. So, and then the same with getting off the ship. People think that, well, my flight's not till 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I just want to hang out on the ship till about noon or 1 o'clock. Well, you can't do that because they need to get you off to start getting the people for the next cruise on. This day is called turnaround day in the cruise industry, and it's not just getting all the people off, the previous cruise people off and the new cruise people on. For them, they're also offloading trash and everything like that, and taking on board supplies and food and booze and all that other good stuff. So there's a lot going on, and that's why they have to kind of have this regimen of here's when you can get on and here's when you need to be off by. So because if you think about it, you get a big ship like that, 4, 5, 6,000 people, everybody can't get off at the same time. That gets a little bit of a bottleneck. So keep that in mind. Let's see, what's included, what's not included. Little bit of a trick question here. Like from my standpoint, a Royal Caribbean cruise that I go on, their pricing is more a la carte. So if you want a drink package, here's the price for the drink package. If you want an internet package, here's the price for the internet. If you want to do an excursion, it's this much. If you get 2 drink packages, you might get the first one full price and the next one half price. Internet package, if you do more than one, maybe you get 20% off or something like that. So it really depends on 2 things. It depends on the cruise line, but it also depends on kind of either your status on the cruise line or the type of room that you're getting into. Like MSC that I'm on right now, you can actually, when you book your cruise in certain categories, you can pay the extra price, and it's almost like if you get a balcony, but you get some of the benefits of being in a suite. So you want to watch that, because if you're going to pay for those things anyways, it probably is going to benefit you to just say, you know what, just roll it all in. Give me the drink package, give me the internet package. I'll take it all in one shot, and that way it's all done and paid for when I get on the ship. So this is one that you've got to kind of weigh by yourself and see. Now there are some luxury brands where everything is included. You get on, you're not paying for gratuities, you're not paying for drinks, you're not paying for excursions, everything. But the cost up front is thousands and thousands of dollars for a balcony or junior suite, something like that. So that's something, talk to your travel agent, talk to the cruise line, but you're going to have to maybe do a little math and see where it benefits you in that. And let's see. Get this every once in a while. What if there's a hurricane? Pretty much like I said, the cruise lines are actively going to avoid any area where there's a hurricane coming, where it's been, where anything like that. They don't want anything to do with them. And the worst case scenario I can tell you, I mean, I hate to say this, your cruise almost could be canceled. Or instead of a week-long cruise, maybe they only make it 5 nights because they have to wait for the hurricane to pass before they can get the ship into port. And trust me, that is the worst of the worst case scenario. That does not happen very often. Normally what I hear about in the summer, going into fall when it's kind of hurricane season here in Florida, is that the cruise lines will divert. Instead of doing a Western Caribbean cruise, now they're doing an Eastern Caribbean cruise. The only downside there is maybe you really wanted to go to Cozumel or something like that, and you can't. You're going to go to Grand Cayman and maybe San Juan instead. It is what it is. You know, it does happen. It's sparingly, because the cruise lines don't openly want to make any kind of changes like that. You paid for a cruise to X, Y, and Z. That's where they want to take you. So if they don't go there, it is an absolute requirement that they not travel to that area. So that's something to consider there. The last thing on this is, how do I buy things on the ship? I don't think I have my SeaPass card or my sail card. You get basically like a little credit card with it. Some of the cruise lines, they do have a band that you get that you can hold up to your door that lets you in the door. It also lets you pay for anything. That card is basically going to be your credit card on the ship. If you go to the gift shop, or if you go to a bar to buy a drink, or you go get a sweatshirt in the gift shop and you hand them a credit card, they're going to say, nope, I need your SeaPass card, whatever it might be. That's how you get everything. The nice thing is, either on their app or on the TV, you can review any of the charges on your card. So do that, the last couple days of your cruise. If you see anything on there that you don't understand or you kind of question, bring it up to guest services and get some clarification on that, get a refund if it's owed to you. So the one exception of this, I would say, would be in the casino. I personally wouldn't hand them my card and say, can you charge it to my room? Whatever, if I want $100 or something like that, they're going to say yes. It's a 5% charge to do that. So they're taking a 5% fee to give me $100 cash to charge it to my room. I always keep a couple of bucks on me. So if I'm going to the casino, I want to put something in the blackjack or, a slot machine, something like that, I have the cash on hand. I don't have to go through kind of that nonsense. So these are 10 of the more common questions I get. I have a feeling I'm going to do more of these videos. If you have any questions yourself, put them in the comments down below. I'd love to answer those for you. One of the things I enjoy is when somebody asks me a question about cruising, I actually enjoy it if I don't know the answer. It gives me incentive to go do the research, find out what the person is talking about. Is it specific to that line or this line, something like that. So I really do enjoy that. Contact me if you're looking at booking a cruise. I'd love to do that for you. And as always, thanks for watching the video. Please remember to subscribe to the channel. Thank you for checking out my video. And remember, if you're looking for a cruise, contact me and I'll find the perfect cruise vacation for you.